If you've been scrolling through social media, you've probably seen videos of people making lots of money with digital products. Even I create videos about my personal story of making six figures selling digital products on Etsy. And while yes, it can be an incredible way to make money, there's also a lot of stuff people don't tell you. And that's what we're diving into today. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just my unfiltered advice on what I really think it takes to succeed with selling digital products. And perhaps it's not what you might expect. Quick disclaimer, this video isn't meant to discourage you at all. I just want to make sure you're informed and have a clear picture of what to expect. So let's get into it. Okay, first let's get real for a second about something I've been noticing a lot lately. The way people talk about passive income. Yes, digital products can bring passive income, but let me just say this. The upfront hustle is anything but passive. I've seen so many videos on TikTok and Instagram where people are like, oh, I just uploaded a few products and I made thousands in my first week. And every time I hear that, I can't help but think that is a very unrealistic expectation to set for people. Side note, I've been reflecting on this a lot lately because looking back at my past videos, I realized I may have unintentionally made selling digital products seem way easier than it actually is. It's kind of weighing on me and I feel really guilty about it, and that's why I created this video to set more realistic expectations and be more honest with you guys about the journey. While I'll always aim to cheer you on and stay positive, I also want to make sure I'm not giving unrealistic expectations. It's important to me that you feel supported but also fully informed about the challenges that come with it. Because you know what happens when people buy into that easy money narrative? They give it a try, they don't see success right away, and they feel totally discouraged, like they've done something wrong, but really, the process just takes time and effort. Here's the truth. Creating, launching, and selling digital products on Etsy is not easy. It takes work, a lot of it actually, and it's not something that just magically happens overnight. So let's set the record straight. Selling digital products on Etsy can be an amazing business model. It can bring you flexibility and yes, eventually some passive income, but it is not instant and it is not effortless. And you know what? That's okay. Hard work is a part of the process. There is nothing bad about that. I just want you to be aware that you might have to put a lot of work up front before you start seeing any results. If you're ready to put in the effort and stick with it, then yes, the payoff is absolutely worth it. But let's not pretend it's all rainbows and passive income dreams, okay? A lot of people like to say that selling digital products on Etsy is easy. You know, just make a couple of templates, upload it, and you'll be making lots of money. But if it was as easy as that, then everybody would be doing it. The truth is, it's not that simple, especially if you're not naturally creative or don't have much experience with design. You see, to create products that people actually want to buy, you need to have an eye for design. It's kind of like how songwriters have ear for melodies, you know, it's not something you can fake or skip over. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a professional designer right off the bat. I definitely wasn't when I first started. And just to be clear, you can absolutely learn design. I truly believe it's a skill that you can develop over time. I mean, all the great artists out there started somewhere, right? Even if you're not great at it yet, having a genuine willingness to learn is key. There has to be some kind of foundation to build on. You see, you can't force creativity. It has to feel somewhat natural or at the very least, spark some excitement in you. If it doesn't, and you're someone who just doesn't like creative things, nothing wrong with that by the way, the process is going to feel like an uphill battle. Think of it this way. If you want to be a YouTuber but hate creating videos or don't want to be in front of the camera, it's going to be really hard to succeed in that career. It's kind of the same thing with selling digital products. To really succeed, there needs to be some kind of creative inclination. Now let's talk about something that's absolutely non-negotiable when it comes to selling digital products on Etsy. Unique value. If you're creating generic templates that already flood Etsy, you're setting yourself up for a tough time. I mean, think about it. Why would someone choose your product over the thousands of others that look just like it? If your product doesn't offer something fresh or solve a problem better than others, then I'm sorry to say this, but it's probably not going to sell really well. Originality isn't optional. It's survival. Your goal is to make someone go, oh wow, I need this, or this is exactly what I've been looking for. This means you have to dig deep into your niche and ask yourself, What's missing? What problem can I solve better than anyone else? For example, if you're into the educational printable niche, instead of creating those generic alphabet flashcards for kids, maybe you can create multilingual flashcards featuring English, Spanish, and French with illustrations for each. So before you hit publish on your next listing, ask yourself, what makes this product stand out? If you can't answer that, it's time to go back to the drawing board. Because on Etsy, being different isn't just nice, it's necessary. Etsy is a visual platform. People shop with their eyes first, and if your listing images don't catch their attention, your product could be the best thing ever and it still wouldn't matter. That's why this tip is so important. Invest in quality mockups and visuals. Your listing images are basically your product's first impression. And let's face it, if they look amateur or DIY, people are going to scroll right past. No one wants to spend money on something that doesn't look valuable. It's harsh, but it's true. Now you don't need to be a professional graphic designer to nail this. You can buy professional looking mockups from websites like Creative Market or even Etsy itself. And if you're on a budget, Canva has some amazing tools to create polished mockups. Just make sure the final results look professional and highlights how your product will actually be used. For example, if you're selling a digital planner, maybe show it on an iPad mockup. Or maybe you're selling printable wall arts. Display it in a beautiful room setting where people can actually imagine hanging it in their own homes. One simple way to tell if your product photos are on point is to compare them with your competitor's listing. Put your photos next to theirs and ask yourself, would I want to buy this if I was scrolling through Etsy? Remember, ugly listings don't sell very well. I know that may sound very harsh, but in a competitive platform such as Etsy, standing out is the name of the game. And one of the ways to stand out is to have attention-grabbing listings. So don't cut corners here. Your visuals are just as important as the product itself. Okay, now let's talk about pricing. I see so many sellers underpricing their products just to compete. And while I get the temptation because, let's face it, we all want sales, pricing your products too low doesn't actually help you in the long run. So instead, what I recommend is focusing on offering value and justifying your pricing. Trust me, people who see the true value in what you're offering will pay for it even if it's more expensive than others. My products are actually priced higher than some of my competitors and I still get sales. I've always been a believer that it's better to create products that don't compete on price but on value. Think about it. Would you rather sell 10 $1 products or 5 $20 products? The math speaks for itself, and the second option comes with way less stress. Your job here is to show why your product is worth that price. Highlight what makes it unique, how it saves time, how it solves a problem, or how it just makes life easier. Also, when your products are priced higher, you'll naturally earn more profit, and let's be honest, that's the ultimate goal, right? So the next time you're debating about your pricing, remember this. People will pay for value. Don't be afraid to charge your worth. Don't sell yourself short just to match the lowest price on Etsy. Aim to stand out, not to blend in. One of my biggest tips for actually succeeding with selling digital products on Etsy is to create more products. It's pretty simple. More products mean more chances of someone finding your shop and making a purchase. It's all about probability. Think of it this way. If you only have a few items listed, your chances of being seen are much smaller compared to a shop that has hundreds or even thousands of products. Every product you create is like putting another fishing line in the water. The more you have, the better your chances of catching something. Plus, having a variety of products increases the odds of you appealing to different types of buyers. Maybe someone doesn't like your minimalist templates, but they love your bold, colorful designs. By offering a range of options, you're reaching a broader audience. And let's not forget about Etsy's algorithm. They say the more active you are in your shop, whether that's adding new products or maybe updating existing ones, the more likely Etsy is going to show your shop to potential customers. Just don't forget that it's not just about quantity, quality matters too. If you can find that balance between producing consistently and making sure your products are great, then you're setting yourself up for more success. Okay, let's get one thing straight. Marketing isn't optional. If you're just sitting back relying solely on Etsy's traffic to bring in sales, I hate to break it to you, but you're playing a very risky game. Etsy is great, but it's not magic. Sure, they'll drive some traffic your way, but if you really want to grow your shop and make consistent sales, then you gotta take control of your marketing. And by that, I mean promoting your products outside of Etsy. Get on social media and start showcasing your products. Maybe build an email list, or if it makes sense for your budget, maybe dip your toes into paid ads. They can be a game changer if done right. Look, the truth is, the most successful sellers out there don't wait for buyers to find them. They go out and find the buyers. Whether it's through Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, Pinterest pins, or even email blasts, you gotta put in the effort to get your products in front of people. So don't be lazy with your marketing. Etsy can be a great partner, but it's not going to do the heavy lifting for you. If you want to see big results, you've gotta market like you mean it. Let's talk about one of the most underrated yet powerful tools for running a successful Etsy shop: customer service. And when I say customer service, I mean being obsessively good at it. Respond fast, fix problems even faster, and make your buyers feel like VIPs. Good reviews are my gold, and bad reviews, absolute poison. One unhappy customer can damage your shop's reputation, especially if you're aiming for that shiny star seller badge. I've learned this the hard way. In my first year, I had someone ask me for a refund, and I refused. My thought process was, it's a digital product. You can't exactly return it, which honestly has some truth to it. But now I handle things very differently. If someone tells me they're unhappy for any reason whatsoever, I just refund them immediately. No questions asked. And funny enough, those are usually the customers who leave me glowing 5-star reviews. It's wild how turning a negative experience into a positive one can turn someone into your biggest fan. So don't underestimate the power of top-notch customer service. Treat every customer like a VIP and watch the magic happen. Okay, here's the fact about our society. Trends change. What's selling like hotcakes today might be a total flop tomorrow. That's why this tip is simple. Adapt or die. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. To stay successful, you gotta keep up with niche trends, seasonal demands, and even the feedback your customers are giving you. Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Remember Nokia and BlackBerry? They dominated the market at one point. But when touchscreens became the new standard, they didn't adapt fast enough, and well, we all know how that turned out. The same thing applies to your Etsy shop. Trends are always evolving, and if you're not keeping an eye on what's hot, or worse, refusing to change, you'll get left behind. For example, my best-selling products when I first started in 2022 aren't the same ones that are selling the most now. If I had just kept creating the same types of products without adapting to what the market wants today, I'd probably be left behind. So be flexible. Watch what's trending in your niche, pay attention to seasonal demands, and don't be afraid to pivot if something's not working. I mean, you don't have to chase every trend, but staying flexible and relevant, that's how you stay ahead of the game. Remember, in business, it's adapt or die. And trust me, staying adaptable is a lot more fun than fading into obscurity. Let's have a little heart-to-heart talk, okay? If you've been working hard but it feels like nothing's happening, you're not alone. The reality is, it might take time before you gain any traction at all. And I get it, it's frustrating. You're pouring your heart and soul into your products, you're putting in the hours, and yet the sales aren't coming in the way you hoped. Growth isn't instant. I know I sound like a broken record here, but success takes time, effort, and patience. I'm a big believer that success is just a series of failures that you didn't give up on. And every time you try again, you're one step closer to figuring out what works. The key here is to not stop. Keep going. Analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and try again. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. You gotta keep on throwing until something sticks. And trust me, the people who are killing it on Etsy didn't get there by sheer luck. They got there by showing up every day, trying, failing, and trying again. So if you're feeling discouraged because things aren't taking off right away, that's okay. Take a breather, adjust your strategy, and give it another shot. Remember that the only way to truly fail is if you stop trying. I hope you found something here that really clicks for you, maybe something that makes you feel a little more confident or maybe a little less alone in this whole Etsy journey. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, make sure to subscribe, and leave me a comment down below of your favorite tip. I'd love to know what resonated with you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go out there and create something amazing. You've got this, and I'm rooting for you every step of the way. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!